Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Diki Andrian with NPM 234120661 from class AKT23A. Here I will present about factory overhead cost. This material is very important because it is directly related to the calculation of production costs and efficiency in the manufacturing process. Factory overhead costs are all production costs that cannot be directly traced to a particular product, such as direct materials or direct labor. Examples are electricity for the entire factory, foreman's salary, and machine maintenance costs. These costs must still be calculated so that we can determine the cost of the product accurately. Next, the overhead cost components include various things. For example, indirect materials such as machine lubricants, indirect labor such as foreman's salary, electricity and water used in the factory, machine depreciation costs, to insurance and factory building taxes. Next, the characteristics of overhead. Overhead costs cannot be directly determined for one product. For example, we cannot say product A uses 20% of the factory's electricity. Therefore, we need an allocation method. There are also fixed overheads such as rent, and variable overheads such as electricity costs that depend on activity. The next method used is the traditional method of calculating overhead, based on working hours or machine hours. Meanwhile, the ABC method is more modern and accurate, because it calculates overhead based on what activities cause costs to occur, such as machine settings or inspections. Well, here's an example. We calculate the overhead rate per machine hour, which is IDR 50 million divided by 10,000 hours equals IDR 5,000 per hour. If one product uses 300 machine hours, then the overhead charged to the product is IDR 5,000 times 300 is equal to IDR 1,500,000. Why is overhead management important? If overhead is managed properly, we can determine the right cost price. This is very helpful in pricing, cost control, and overall production process efficiency. So the conclusion is that factory overhead costs may look like additional costs, but they are very important in calculating COGS. With proper allocation and efficient management, companies can keep production costs optimal. Well, maybe that's all I can present. I apologize for any shortcomings. I end with Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.